Liam, great to chat to you ahead of a historic All-Ireland final. We'll come to that in a second, the first one between yourselves and Cork. But just reflecting back on the weekend, a controversy that really hasn't, I suppose, looked too good for the GA.
Yeah, well, it's disappointing, I suppose. You know, it was a really exciting game, and I suppose to have that controversy in the aftermath has taken a little bit from that. But you know, from our perspective, it was outside our control as players and management, and you know, human error happens, and there's not a lot we can do about it. But you know, to be fair to Kilkenny, they've been really sporting in their acknowledgement of this in the aftermath of the game, and you know, I'd like to think that if the same thing was to happen, we'd be the same in Tipperary.
Very good. Can I take you back maybe 12-18 months? A huge difference in this Tipperary side. Talked to some of the players today, and they said, you know, there was some long hard talks between a lot of them of the standards that Tipperary as a county expects maybe weren't being met. You know, to come from where you were, what do you think has been the key difference? Has there been one key thing that has changed?
I think the accountability among everybody, both management, players and support team, backroom team. That togetherness has really come to the fore over the last 12 months in particular. You know, and rightly so. We've had a real good look at ourselves at the end of the 2024 campaign, and there was a lot of areas there that we were disappointed with. A lot of areas maybe we're not that million miles away either from being there, but we needed to look at it and needed to tweak it, and I think everybody involved has been really, I suppose, positive in that regard, and has really come together to get us where we are today.
We've seen that team ethic come to the fore a number of times over the past 12 months in the league campaign, and you know, we go back to the game against Limerick or whatever, plenty of examples. One of the key things that has hit me as well, and it's been a key thing I think in a number of teams in both codes, successful teams, is the impact of the bench. And we can see that again from Tipperary at the weekend, just how much of an impact. And for, you know, as a manager, how much of a boost is that to know that you can call on these players on your bench and they are just every bit as good as the players who are coming off the park?
Look, well, that's what every, I suppose, manager and management team aspire to get to, is to have strength and depth in your squad. That's really what you're trying to achieve from the outset. And at the moment, you know, correctly said, like when I look back over my shoulder at any point during a game this year throughout the championship and even in the league, there was always players behind me that you felt could contribute to what we were trying to achieve on the field. And you know, that's testament to the players, the way they push one another in training, the way they put their hands up at different stages. You know, we've seen our panel evolve quite a bit over the course of the championship, and again, that's down to the sheer commitment and dedication of our players to hold one another to really high standards and push hard for that jersey.
The offset of that is, does it leave you with problems and sleepless nights coming to pick that 15?
Absolutely, there's been some really difficult conversations to be had, and there will be again leading into the final in 2 weeks' time. Well, that's the part of my job. You know, sometimes I have to be the bearer of bad news, and it's really difficult. But as I said, it's something you crave for, and then when it arrives, it's a different kettle of fish from my perspective. But we have a group of players that understand that whatever happens, it has to be for the good of the team and the collective of the whole group. And once you have that in a setup, you have a great chance.
2019 since the last win for Cork, 2021 final, 2024, both lost. Just kind of saying earlier, sometimes it takes, you know, you have to lose one to know how to win one. Cork will be coming into this in I suppose, great experience and confidence as well. Where do you think they are? Do you think that's a big boost to them coming into this final? They've been there, they've had the day, all the build up, all of what we're doing right now?
Yeah, that's testament to them, testament to Cork. They've been the unbackable, I suppose, favourites from the outset of this campaign in 2025, and they deservedly carry the tag of raging hot favourites for Sunday week. And as I said, that's on the back of their performances. They're a really formidable side. They crave goal opportunities. They really bring a flair to their play, and obviously a big support behind them as well in the stands and the terrace. So, you know, they're there on merit. They're there as favourites, and rightly so. And you know, they'll be formidable opposition on the day.
15-point difference between you back in the Munster Championship now. I know there was a few factors on that day, but do you think you learned a lot about yourselves and Cork that day?
Yeah, I think so. I think we have to. we don't find ourselves in an All-Ireland final without improving either, and we've really good players here in this Tipperary squad as well that have improved as the championship has progressed. And I suppose our team from that day in Cork, Will, on the second round of the Munster Championship has changed a little bit, I suppose, since that day too, which will give us a good opportunity maybe to ask more questions of Cork on the biggest day of the year.
Dublin went into this game, I think they freely admitted afterwards that they had a choice to make, whether to just go for it or to try and nullify Cork. They went for the first option, it certainly didn't go for them. Is that a choice for you now to make as a coach, to try and get your tactics right, to maybe not nullify yourself, but to try and nullify some of the potential goal threat especially that Cork possess?
Yeah, it would be remiss of me not to say that the Cork goal threat is obviously a priority for us, but we have really good players in Tipperary as well that have, as I said, improved consistently throughout the championship. Absolutely, we'll have to go after Cork's big players, and there is plenty of them to go after to try and shut them down. But I'd like to think that we have a number of big players too that are just coming into their own as this championship has progressed, and we'll be hoping to pose as many questions to Cork as they will to us over the course of the 70 minutes in the All-Ireland final.
Final question, you going to win it?
Absolutely.